Greetings, gnomes and nomads, and welcome back to Castlegoat. As you can see, we have finally slain the remainder of the enormous invasion wave that attacked us at the end of the last episode. I actually had the Poisonous Ancients march out and finish off the last two-headed ogres themselves, rather than risk any more of the bodies decaying in the time it would take them to die from their wounds. But most of the two-headed ogres actually bled out rather than died of thirst. And actually, on the note of bleeding out, because obviously the sentinels were the reason they bled out, I have changed the area here quite extensively, you'll notice. I've gone ahead and painted that red, or rather used brick, and we've got various writings on the floor to try and remind our shooters humility and that they are not gods of death, but and that these goblins and ogres do deserve some level of respect. Although, litanies and things, little gnomish prayers for taking the life of soon-to-be meals. Now, the reason why we no longer have ammo stockpiled here is, whilst I was watching this all happen, I noticed that I had no sentinels anywhere else. I realized that it had been a little while since anyone had patrolled out here. I was like, that was a little bit odd. So I went down here and I investigated. And what appeared to be two sentinels were actually all of them. It's just that most of them were stood on one tile. This tile specifically, and the other was stood there. And I thought, wow, that's dangerous, for one thing. But I thought, well, I'll actually check out my sentinels, more or less on a whim. I wasn't really expecting to see anything. I was going in really to check their skills. But I noticed a lot of them were dying of thirst or exhausted. I was like, okay, it looks like their AI is not really taking into account that they're going to die of thirst or starvation. I don't know if they would have, but they'd been there for a long time for all three squads to be there. That means that the first squad that had been there for 2 full shifts. And I don't know if we were actually talking 4 or 5 shifts, if they'd all been there for that long. So the first thing I did, and perhaps this will come in handy for you if you are in a similar situation, is I went to military because I couldn't seem to get them to stop. I even removed the patrol route. They didn't care. They were already locked in combat. So I went to to the military, found them, told them to maintain distance. Obviously, they were too close, so then they tried to back out and they were going crazy in the corners. I eventually added this door. I actually burrowed into this wall simply to let them funnel out the back. And the moment they did that, and once they reached the maximum distance and realized they had nothing to shoot, because at their maximum distance they didn't have line of sight, it kind of gave them a chance to path and check their priorities and what they should be doing. And then, pretty much all of them realized, oh my god, I'm dying of thirst, and then legged it off to get a drink. I was a little bit panicked they might not make it there, because unfortunately the closest drink was milk, which just so happens to be the furthest drink away in terms of actually getting to the drink, because they had to go all the way around, up, down, and then in. My heart was in my mouth for a few moments. Dragwerth, I think, was the one that was most worrying me, because he was moving a little bit slower than the others. But suffice to say, they had a few drinks, then they went off and had some food, and then they immediately passed out where they had eaten. It was really bad. It was a massive oversight. So I decided that the reason why they'd probably been able to do that, because I'd noticed that we were producing loads of bronze. I don't know if we still are, actually. Yes, we're still making bronze. And one of the reasons why I think that had happened is because they had a steady supply of ammunition. Now, normally they would retreat to gather ammo, but the ammo was just there, so they retreated, gathered ammo, and they were still in line of sight, so they just continued attacking. That was a problem. So I've removed the ammo stockpile, and now each one of them can only really hang around for a short while. Let's just actually see how much ammo you can store, Calissa. Equipment, and then we want the tick duty. Well done. We want to check out your ammo pouch. How much can it contain? 32 rounds. So at most, they will fire 32 times. That's probably less than a single shift. At that point, they have to leave and go a fair ways away in order to get ammo, but that's not a problem here, because this isn't a critical situation. It doesn't matter if they back out and take a little while getting back, because this is basically just training for them. So they'll wander off to go get ammo. Once they get there, I'm hoping that they'll then reevaluate the situation before returning. And in fact, that does seem to be what happened, because I obviously tested it out, and it does seem to allow them a moment to reflect and realize they could possibly die of starvation if they don't go and eat, or die of thirst. So that has fixed that problem. I've also continued to generally go around and tidy up the stockpiles a little bit more. More things are pointing back. I've also been cutting down all of these trees. You'll notice that we are on the autumnal tile set, and that's because, well, there we are. 1st of autumn. We may get some nomads. I don't think we will, but we can live in hope. And also over here, I've been tidying up this little area. So we've got some more rose gold statues. We're at 86,000 gnome bucks now, and I also decided I would have wood paneling. I actually think it looks nice myself, and I may even take that into this area. I'm not sure yet. It's still on the cards, but I'm actually quite pleased with it. I've got to be honest. I think it looks quite dapper. Whether it would look dapper on a larger scale, or maybe I can just leave this just regular block walls, and then I can maybe have paneling in different rooms, maybe different colors of paneling and things like that, who knows. But on the whole, just been tidying things over, and right now I'm letting the gnomes decide what they want to do. Oh, another funny thing, actually, I kind of wished I'd been recording at the time, because it was quite hilarious. I got attacked by mants. I didn't realize until I saw someone carrying in a man's head. I was like, what the? Did a mant die somewhere in the field? I looked down, and obviously down there, the mant has died. And I looked around, and the people who had been chopping down the trees had been attacked by a full wave of mants and had summarily slaughtered them. Fantastic. Most of my military were out there cutting clippings at the time, so the mants just showed up and they're like, "Ha! Surprise! Oh my god, no, please, not the face." And that was the end of the mants. And you know, obviously brought the head in. But that did remind me I had taken off pause when we spotted an enemy, so I have gone ahead and re-added that on. Thank goodness it was the mants that did that to us, not an attack wave of goblins. That probably would have been a tragic way to lose a bunch of soldiers. But I really would like this place cleaned out. Honestly, if you guys could do that fast, I would be thankful, because right now our trap system is disengaged and can't even be engaged until we do something about this. So, you know what, let me just prioritize the gathering of everything from in here, including the armor. There we are. Now, I've also tidied up a couple of other things. We've got the food stockpiles here. Ooh, a merchant from Loveslave has arrived. Did we get any nomads? It hasn't told us yet. Oh, it's going to be a little while before we can find out. But as I was saying, I've set these up. They are the meals stockpiles and the drink stockpiles. They only accept the prepared meals. So I'll just give you a quick look there with sandwiches and the omelets. And the drinks don't accept milk. They only accept the wines, teas, and beers. I've also told this one, set this one up for trade goods. But you'll notice it's accepting now all types of worn weapons and armor except steel. In both weapons and armor, exactly the same there. So that's all set up. In fact, I probably should have a look over here. Which one is my smelting? I guess I could go through this and just... Well, actually, no, that wouldn't be too bad. Unlike the stockpile, where I'm telling them to store everything but steel, this one would just be smelt only steel. So I could go through this and set all of that up specifically so they won't waste their time with iron. I think I will do that, actually. But I just wanted to bring you back for a brief update, just to let you know what's going on with the fort. We are now also making jewelry. I've got the jeweler doing copper and tin rings again. The gemmed ring here is any gem and platinum. I've taken platinum off the queue there. I don't have enough platinum yet to justify trying to make statues out of it, so at least this way I can have a bump to my trade goods. But on that note, I am going to pause the recording here, and I shall bring you back should something interesting happen. So see you soon. And welcome back at long last. I think we have finally cleaned the room. It's the 6th day of fall at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
or rather in the, well, yeah, in the afternoon. And, oh, we've got some ammo there. It has taken about 4 or 5 days of solid work to clear that room, and massive storage expansions. I've had to expand so many different things. I'm still working on it in many cases. I've changed stockpiling priorities. It has been a lot of work to get all of that cleaned up, but we're finally there. Ah, my lord. I was really starting to get worried that we were going to face a goblin attack without being able to actually use our trap room because of that. But it looks like we have managed to just narrowly avoid that situation. But I'm going to show you how many worn items we have. It is staggering. And we want worn armor as well. So we've got 290 worn helmets, 245 worn breastplates, 431 pauldrons, greaves. These numbers are absolutely mind-boggling. Because, of course, armor doesn't decay like bodies do. And unfortunately, I've discovered that bodies will still decay even when they're stored. So, yeah, that's not great. I'm thinking we're probably going to have to expand... Ooh, musical tooth, finally. We're probably going to have to expand out the abattoir and the butcher workshops all the way back here, just so that we can try and get through the enormous amount of butchering that needs to be done whenever this trap is properly used to its sort of full capacity. Look at all the armor that's just decayed on the bodies in that stockpile. It is absolutely mind-boggling. I'm going to have to seriously think. Well, we're going to need a massive... Well, this storage is probably okay for now. And besides, I can probably expand it down here anyway and just have a secondary enormous other stockpile. But for now, I'm thinking that I may want to hold back on really escalating the taunts that we send out, simply until we've got the capacity to properly store the things that we take off. I mean, look at it. We've got random bits of armor all over the fort. Everything is messy, and it has pretty much ground the production of our gnomes to a halt for the duration of that operation. But we are now in the clear for the most part. You know what? I think we're going to start replanting out here. Let's get that going first and foremost. So we're going to want, wow, orange clippings, and we're going to want a lot of them down here. We're going to flat out just replant this whole area. I won't replant it all the way up to the walls there, but almost. And we'll just plant everything up here. So it's going to be a proper little orangewood forest. There we are. And we can probably take it up there as well. Just round it off a little bit. Make it look a little bit more organic. Just slightly. There we go. So that's going to be our orange trees. Our orangewood farms, rather. We'll remove these ramps just to make another good little platform for planting trees. And once that's gone, we'll plant apple trees there, because that's another thing that I've been running shy of, unfortunately. Oh, actually, have I left out 2 spaces? Yes, I have. Then I will plant more. Plant trees. We want orange clippings. Now, there are some concerns, because we are in the sort of right time now for a goblin invasion. I may have to suspend the work out here in order to make sure that we're not outside when the goblins do invade. But on the plus side, it's mostly going to be our military doing this, since they're the only ones that ever really have an enormous amount of free time. Whenever they're not in the training grounds, they are generally doing horticulture. So let's go ahead and plant all of this with apple trees all the way down. It's a nice little secondary forest out here. And the nice thing with this is it also helps in situations where we might otherwise starve. Though, honestly, at that point, I don't think that's ever going to be a concern. We are producing an enormous amount of food. We've got an enormous amount of drinks. We're fairly good on the whole, I would say. I don't think Castlegoat is going to suffer the fate of spider slaughter. I feel quite confident in saying that. I've also increased the amount of leather armor I'm making. I've just told them flat out, once they've made the two-headed ogre stuff, just make whatever they can, out of whatever they can. Let's see. I would actually like this to be significantly larger. I would like, you know what, make 100 suits of two-headed ogre leather, because once we've got 100 suits, well, once we've got everyone in the fort equipped properly, actually on that note, yeah, what we'll do is we won't do 100, we'll do 50, because I know we haven't got 50 people, so that way I'm not going to be spending a useless amount of time producing 200 boots when I haven't even got 50 helms or something. There we go. But then after that, just for them to go ahead and just make as much leather stuff as they can, and they just continue training their skill, really. We'll sell it on. I've become much less concerned about selling armor, or anything, really, at this point. We've got an abundance of resources, and in fact, that is slowing the game down. A couple of people have done tests and have found that the amount of stored materials in your world will actively degrade the stability of the, well, not so much stability, but certainly the responsiveness of the game. But I'm absolutely certain that I need to sort that area out. But let's clear up all that dirt. I will expand this up and get a lot more butchers and just expand this stockpile as well, and that in turn might help, because we were at capacity for both of these stockpiles for bodies, so they were just continuing to decay in this room, and we couldn't butcher them fast enough because, well, mainly because if they tried to butcher someone who was wearing armor, all of the armor entered the workshop's stockpile as well, so the efficiency of the workshops was down to 0 pretty much on all three. So yeah, not the most amazing time, if I'm perfectly honest. And it looks like we are actually producing more greaves. Oh, that's awesome. Let me go and check on that. How are you doing there, flat staplers? So armor, actual metal armor. Oh, we've got over 10 greaves. That is good times. That means we can finally tell the... Where are you? Warriors, or is it Slayers? No, it's Slayers. Is it? No, it's not. No, it was Warriors, sorry. Right, we want you to equip greaves. There we go. So just equip whatever you can. And then as soon as you're finished with that, we'll be able to get you a breastplate and a helmet. But your limbs are now properly protected at the very least. We'll get to the even more important parts last. Stupidly, but then again, you know, it's much faster to make the one iron plate, steel plate greaves than it is to make or 2 steel plate greaves than it is to make the 6 or 7 steel plate breastplate. Oh, man, my kingdom is just a mess. This is hurting me, gnomes. Looking at this mess of a kingdom we have. On the plus side, we are making more room in the overflow stockpile more than likely, but wow, I couldn't believe that we filled that up, honestly. I was quite shocked. On that note, perhaps I should go ahead and continue. Yes, actually, I would like to make more pine crates. Let's have a quick look. Can we? We should be able to. Oh, no, apparently we don't. Let's check our stocks. What kind of logs have we got? We have traded with the Rainy Gear recently. Logs. No, we're quite shy on pine logs, actually. So it would be better to do birch and orangewood logs. Okay. Let's have a look. We've got 2 on each. Okay, so we want 10 birch and 10 orangewood. Let's get you made. There we are. Birch to start with, and orange wood. Let me just make sure I did that right. Okay. Right, let's get these set up as well so they can be built as soon as they become available. And then we should be good for quite a little while as far as stockpiling in the overflow storage, but generally speaking, it's always going to be better to store things in the primary storage for that material. Ooh. Did you mess up my placement there? No, thankfully. Right. Well, that's going to be easy. Let's just... well, everyone's already out there. Just go and attack. Let's set you up with the proper attack order, so... Oh, no. We want the poisonous ancients. Go forth! Oh, you foolish mans. This is basically what happened last time when I didn't have the pause when spotted. Really? Have they not noticed us? Do they just not care? Oh, wow. They were chasing down Adgestow there. Are you alright? Where is Adgestow? Fairly sure Adgestow is in amongst all of that. Let me find you. Is there any of Adgestow's blood on the floor? No, it's man blood. Okay. I thought it was Adgestow at any rate, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Aavak. Bronze Warhammer has become legendary. Our weapons are getting amazing skill ups at the moment. It is utterly fantastic. The amount of legendary gear we've got. But I think on that point we've had enough fun for today. Oh, really? Adgestow was hurt, and he went for the... Oh. Yes, Adgestow was hurt. Well, damn, they must have hit him in the head. Let's go find Adgestow. Where are you? You should be further up, I would have imagined. Oh no, you were a late joiner, actually. Where are you? There we are. Now let's have a... Serious injured his left eye. Okay, well, Metasapia will almost certainly be able to help you with that. Are you chilled out? Yes, there we are. Metasapia, the doctor, rushing to Adgestow's aid. You're in good hands there, Adgestow. And in a very nice hospital, too, I will add. I haven't yet set up the food stockpile there, but I will eventually. There we are. Did Metasapia apply the bandage to your eye? Yes, it does look like Adgestow will recover. Make a full recovery fairly quickly as well. Going to have a bit of a snack. I don't blame you. You did just get walloped in the eye, probably. Or maybe even stung in the eye, which is even more horrific. But yes, on that note, I am going to wrap up this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed and will be joining us for the next. But for now, and as always, do take care.